I don't know, on a cruise ship they give me a microphone. This is spot. I've been asked to introduce the man of the hour. As well as I know Noah, I have to admit, I was a little, maybe a year ago, so a little surprised that he's really finished HaShas. I should have had a hint by when he said to me, he came back from New York a year ago and he said, Josh, that's it, I'm through with Nashim. I didn't know he meant the Masechta. Anyway, we're very proud of Noah. I think Bonnie and I did a very good job of bringing him up. And oh, I know what you're thinking now. I got to mention someone else in the room. Someone that starts with an R. Yeah, Rubia also was very helpful. And I should mention Betty and Dunya and Colin and Elamay and Ramua and everyone who helped bring him up. And seriously, of course, we're going to give most of the credits under Bonnie to Ricky and to Gigi who are here for the big simcha. And I should mention one of the family members, Lizzie flew in from Israel. That's another family member, I guess. And so as much as Lizzie is a sister, I'm a brother in the family, and it gives me great pleasure to introduce Noah to say a few words.
Thank you, John. In trying to figure out what to talk about in summing up Shas, it's very difficult. There are many thematic issues that come up time and time again, which seem to have no relation to each other. So it's a very big thing. I'm trying to figure out what to say. So I have to thank Ellie Feldman for giving me the insight of what to start with. As I was talking with Ellie once, we were trying to figure out, what does Torah Sheba'al Peh mean? We have Torah Shebechsav, which means the written Torah. But Torah Sheba'al Peh translates into the odd vernacular of the oral Torah, which just sounds weird. So the question was mean. So I got to thinking, and forgive me for looking at my notes, I had to write my thoughts down. When HaKadosh Baruch Hu creates man, the first thing that is done is Vayipach ve'apav nishmas chayim vayhi ha'adam lenefesh chaya. That God blew into man's nostrils, into Adam's nostrils, and he was a living being. And Onkelos on the spot translate that to mean V'hava be'adam l'ruach memalala, that man was given the power to speak. We see that this is a very important task that Onkelos goes out of his way to translate God's first connection with man as giving man the power of speech. What's very interesting is that there's a medrash that's brought down that Adam HaRishon was shown every single neshama that would ever be born. And he sees this very bright soul. He says to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he says to God, who is this? He says, this is going to be King David, but he's going to die before he has a chance to come onto this planet. So the medrash says that Adam donated 70 years of his life for David HaMelech. What's very interesting is later David HaMelech, in those years of his life, writes Tehillim. And the pasuk in Tehillim, it says, Mi yimala gvros Hashem yashmiya kol tilaso. He uses that same word that HaKadosh Baruch Hu used in the creation of man. Who can speak the glory of God? Yashmiya kol tilaso, only one who can hear it all. The Gemara in Makkah says, what does it mean? Mi yimal gvros Hashem. So the Gemara says, L'minah l'lamed gvros Hashem. Who is it good and pleasant to hear the glory, the gvros Hashem, the strength of God? Only Yashmiya kol tilaso. Only someone that has learned it all. Only someone who has heard it is capable then of giving it over. So the Pirkei de Rabbi Eliezer, which starts off with this same pasuk, asks a very simple question. Is it possible, haytachin, that a person is capable to know everything? How can a person know the Gvuras Hashem? So the Pirkei de Rabbi Eliezer says that the purpose is that L'man Yisroim Shmo Shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the person shall elevate the glory of God. While a person may not be fully capable of understanding the Gvuros, he's learning them so that he can give over the Gvuras Hashem. which is very similar to the pasuk in Tzvanya, which says, "Hiskoishishu v'koishu," adorn yourself and then adorn others. The Gemara in Sanhedrin says, "Kshot atzmecha v'achakach kshot acherim," which means that a person has first an obligation to learn for themselves. The Gemara teaches us of the adornments, the 24 adornments. These are the 24 books of the Tanakh. A person has an obligation to get adorned through the 24 books of the Torah and then give it over as an adornment for others. To the point that the Mishnah Novo says, Udelo yoliv katol chayev. He that does not give over and does not teach deserves death. Because the whole purpose is to give over. This is not a polite suggestion. This is a code of conduct that the Mishnah, the Gemara is telling us that a person is obligated to learn for themselves and then give over. Of course, this sounds like a plug from the Kiruv individual, so we won't use Kiruv. We'll talk about the importance of giving over Torah to everyone. The Gemara in Kiddushin tells us a very scary story. It tells us of an individual named Elazar ben Po'ira, who told Yanai HaMelech, told Yanai the king, that it would be okay to kill all the Talmidei Chachamim. So Yanai says, what about the Torah? It's over there in a corner. Anyone who wants it can come get it. This is wrong. The Gemara faults Elazar ben Po'ira and says, what about Torah Sheba'al Peh? That the person has the obligation to continually discuss the Torah Sheba'al Peh. Every day we get up in the Birchas HaShachar, we say, Herav no Hashem Eloheinu divrei sosecha befinu. That we ask HaKadosh Baruch Hu that in the words of Rabbi Moshe Miller, that the divrei Torah should be homogenized in that which we say. That it's not just times at a Shabbos table to say a Dvar Torah, that any time a person speaks with someone else, the words of Torah are infused with everything they say. And this can only be something that is gained in the home. The Gemara in Sukkah tells us, Shuta de Yanuka, o de Ave o de Ime. When a child is out in public, whatever he hears at home, that's what he's going to say over. That the person who educates others is doing what he's supposed to. Problem, it's a very daunting task. For those that are interested, this took 10 years for me to accomplish. But, as the Gemara Makkah says, the path that a person wants to go, that's the path that they're led. According to Tzadok HaKohen, hein l'tov, hein l'ra. Whether a person wants to do ill or good with that. That being the case, going back to our original question, what is Torah Sheba'al Peh? Torah Sheba'al Peh is the spoken Torah, in the adverb sense of the word. That it describes the constant discussions that a person has thoroughly injected with Divrei Torah at all times. That whenever a person speaks, there's Torah homogenized with what they say. I'd like to take a moment and thank my parents who taught me Shuta de Yanuka, o de Ave o de Ime. The education starts at the home, and Baruch Hashem, my parents did a fantastic job helping me understand the importance of constantly having Torah on the lips. And for that I say thank you, and thank you, and thank you all for coming.
Those you all know, Noah has a very busy traveling schedule, and he's all over the place. And I know that at the drop of a hat, if he gets a call from Derek Yitzchayim's yeshiva, he would just drop everything and go. He has a very large Hakaras Tov to the yeshiva where he studied almost 10 years ago, I guess, and that's, I'm sure, largely due to his Rosh Yeshiva, who's going to give us a Dvar Torah of Baron Katz.